Bastards, today I want to talk about simulations and training for preppers. And in this particular case, I want to talk about the benefits of Airsoft. Well, Airsoft, what is Airsoft? Airsoft is actually a combat simulation game, just like paintball, but instead of just wearing an overall and shooting with paint, you shoot with realistic replicas which shoot 6mm plastic BBs. So many people think Airsoft is just a child's game, and in a way, they are actually kinda right about it. It is a game for those who consider it just a game. There are several types of Airsoft games that you can play, but the thing that most people think about when they think about Airsoft is the little play fields with just the little play fields where they do just rushing and just keep shooting automatically on each other until they got a flag or something. Well, yeah, that's a lot of Airsoft matches are like that. But if I'm talking about training for preppers, I'm talking about the real Airsoft matches, like Airsoft matches that spread out over a whole wide area where all the players are fair and they are trying to make it so realistic as possible, not just rushing in and hope that more of you guys get back after being killed than the others, like it's some sort of a Zerg rush. No, I'm talking about Airsoft games that you can play with people who are into it, who are interested in the military aspects, people who are generally want to learn combat, real combat tactics, and yeah, in a most realistic situation. So that's another benefit of Airsoft against. I know I'm gonna piss off today a lot of how do you say this, paintball players today, but I find Airsoft more realistic and more hardcore, to be honest, because you can use real uniforms and you can use realistic weapons. So yeah, that's the reason why I like it, and those are the reasons why I would. Actually, it's kind of advisable to, if you have a MAC, like a mutual assistance group, that you can try to learn basic military tactics on a small scale conflict with each other, so you know what to do if you someday got into war or in a violent situation, or you have to defend your neighborhood in a heated defense situation, that you all know what to do, what the best tactics are, how to put up defensive positions, how to attack a certain objective or flank enemy combatants, and mostly important, how to push yourself. Because, like I said, the Airsoft matches I used to play in were over a wide area. Sometimes you had to walk like 10 minutes before you get back to the respawn point. And yeah, there were all different types of terrain. We did Airsoft matches in a training village and a city of the French army. We did it in woods. We did it in a canyon with a lot of heights, which is very exhausting if you carry a lot of your equipment. So instead, that's also a benefit of it. You learn to train your body to the elements. Like we did Airsoft matches in very cold temperatures. So that way you learn how do you say this? How to stay effectively warm even in cold forest areas when it's freezing. How to stop your hands from freezing. What's the best layering of your clothing and yet still be effective for combat. And other things are like you learn how to deal with heat, because yeah, in the Airsoft matches in the summertime, they are they can be very warm, especially when you wear a ghillie camouflage suit, and that way you know how to manage your water that you carry with you to stay hydrated, even when you're in extreme physical activities and you're in very hot situations, because yeah, you can just you could walk around with your shirtless, like Putin or something, but to be honest, you also do not want to get hit full time because you are very visible. So that way you learn how to manage, how to deal with such circumstances. Also, it learns you how to be mentally and physically more tough, because, like I said, the elements are there. It sometimes it starts to rain, and then your clothes getting wet, and you get more heavier, and yet you still have to push through. The ground can be very muddy, so that way you learn how to keep your balance, because yeah, it's very muddy. You slip very easily, especially in canyons where you have to go uphill and when it's wet. And that during a combat situation, it's a very good live experience, is what I'm trying to say with this. Another benefit is to learn how to camouflage. If you can see, this is just a simple camouflage. Yeah, from 10 meters you would really see me, but I used a lot of ghillie suits during airsoft training, and people just walk past you even if you are a few meters away. So that way you not only learned how to camouflage but also improvise. Like you can see, this is just a very hasty camouflage. It would not do very much, but it's just for an example. Camouflage is to break your silhouette against the environment. So if you have grass on your helmet, grass on your shoulders, and you're in cover, yeah, from far away, the enemy will not spot you that fast. So that's where you learn how to adapt and camouflage from the surroundings that you're in. So it's not you bring some camouflage and you think, oh, they will not see me because too bad. You have autumn camouflage and it's summertime. That will be stick out. So that way you learn the basic of camouflage, and also of camouflaging cover, like in shades. Always stick to the side of the roads, close to buildings. Shoot from inside buildings and not from the window. Such things, and also very important, face camouflage. Yeah, I know it doesn't seem like that much, but if this was all pink, what's the point of camouflaging your own body if you have a pink face? So I know it's not the best makeup you see, but it's just improvised from some charcoal. So yeah, learning to camouflage is also a very important skill that can be handy for preppers and survivalists. Another thing is weapon training. Like you can see, it is an SVD, a Dragunov replica. Yeah, it has served me well, to be honest. And yeah, I like this weapon, even though there are airsoft replicas that shoot like 2,000 BBs a minute and are very much more lighter. I prefer to use something realistic, because I want to learn how to snipe, how to make the most with the less. It's like if you are in a survival situation, where ammo is very expensive and you cannot afford to miss a shot, because if you miss that shot, the target can run away, or like a game, prey, or enemy combatants or aggressors. If you miss that first shot, then yeah, you lose the advantage. So that way you learn how to conserve ammo if you use something not automatic, not overpowered and automatically. So it's a way to gain some skills, and also you learn how to adjust sights. You learn how to gun safety, because that's also very important, that you learn how to put the safety on off. Trigger discipline, very important. A lot of people on national matches accidentally shot themselves or other people because they kept their fingers on the trigger. You learn how to conserve ammo. You learn how to, and also this is the next point, how to learn military tactics about covering fire, engaging, getting near getting closer to your objective from cover to cover. Learn to outwit your enemy. Yeah, the whole Sun Tzu Art of War book is actually you can learn these tactics from military manuals. and it also provides to learn teamwork and to bond together. Because if you learn to work together in a team, you learn that you are not the hero, you are not a Rambo, you're not the Arnold Schwarzenegger that will take on everybody. You learn that without other people, you will lose very quickly. There is no such thing as a Rambo in the real life. If you want to win a battle, you need your comrades, you need people you can trust, and you need people who know what they're doing, so you can cover them and they cover you, and that way you both win. And that's a very important mentality in a prepper and a Mac a group situation. So that's also a good thing. Another thing that you can learn from working with the Ripper class is maintenance of weapons. Yeah, it does not perhaps take the same maintenance as a real firearm, but you learn how to keep you start to learn if you play airsoft how to keep dirt out of the barrel and the mechanisms, and how to move without damaging your weapon. You do not want to fall 10 times on your weapon and breaking it. You would not do that in a real situation. So in airsoft you also don't do that. Yeah, those are some. These are the mostly benefits about airsoft. Another thing that this will provide, if you have friends or a Mac group that want to play regular airsoft with you, yeah, how do you say this? You learn, you have perhaps a common uniformity. So what do I mean by that? If you must defend your neighborhood during a shit hit defense situation, or there are looters. If you have a few weapons, even if they are not real weapons, and you are uniformed, that will scare looters and aggressors and thieves away, like a neighborhood watch when times are desperate. Because if you are just a run-of-the-mill street punk that is just out there to cause trouble, to just do some thieving or looting, and you see 10 guys with the same uniform, with the same weapons, and they look like they know what they are doing, you do not want to mess with those guys. You do not want to get near them. You do not want to mess with them. So that's an extra layer of protection for your community. Is perhaps an extra advantage of being in airsoft. Yeah, it will give a message to the enemy. You look stronger, is what I'm trying to say against your opponent. And of course, how can I forget the physical activity? Airsoft is very, very physical. Running, jumping, climbing over walls, laying down, crawling, in all different kind of terrains, muddy, with height intervals, climbing up onto buildings, clearing rooms methodically, and running very fast with, of course, your equipment. Like you can see, this is a light equipment, but you can also take a lot of things with you to make it more realistic, like you're in a real combat situation, because modern soldiers carry more than 35 kilograms on their body, and that's not even for long-term missions. So yeah, that's a very positive thing. You learn a lot, you get physical strength, you make your condition fitness much better. And another thing is it will make you, it's psychologically training also, because it's many people will find this perhaps strange from a game of airsoft, but there is in the simulation the sort of stress when you're pinned down by a few gunmen that pinning you down, and you that slight realization in the back of your mind that says, if this was a real war, I would be in a serious trouble right now. I could die any moment. I could be seriously wounded, lose limbs, that all sort of things. And that way, that's a good preparedness for shit hit the fan, for real survival situations, to know that realization, you are not the hero. Everybody thinks they're the hero of their own story. Everybody think, I will survive because I'm special. In that moment, you realize, in a real situation, I could have died there. That's way you will take it to the, when you do it to the next time, you can better deal with it. You because you have done this before, even though it was a simulation, you know what you're up to. You know what the risk could be if at least some good fantasy and real life, how do you say, to live up to the role, to the part. That's actually what they do with real soldiers too during the training. Yeah, and that way you will be more careful. You will not just, like a lot of Airsoft players who do not take it seriously, just rush in and hope you can touch the flag or a certain point with before you just got shot. So yeah, those are the benefits of Airsoft for preppers and survivalists as a form of training. Yeah, that is just what I wanted to demonstrate with this. I just also wanted to see if because of the COVID, I have not done a lot of airsoft lately. Actually, a few years, but it's good to see that it still fits with Corona kilos. All right. Yeah, and also, yeah, this is another point that I probably missed, but marksmanship. Like I said before, one shot, one hit. If you learn, even because with firearms, ballistics are the same thing. If it's a real 7.62 millimeter gun, a cartridge from a real rifle, or a 6 millimeter BB gun that is from plastic, ballistics are the same. You learn how to calculate and adjust the drop. You learn how to take in consideration the elevation, the wind speeds, and the distances, and perhaps even with the weight of the BB or the bullet. And you learn to know your rifle and then learn how to set sights. That's also something you learn with Airsoft. It's not really the same. Yeah, there's of course a difference between BBs and real bullets, but the mechanics are the same. The mechanics of the ballistics are still the same. So I think this is what I'm trying to say with this video. Subscribe, I would really appreciate it. If you have some other comments and some other comments of the benefits of Airsoft, some things that perhaps you have other ideas to train for high stress situations and perhaps even violent situations without being in the military, because that's actually another point I want to make that I forgot. Because people used to be, how do you say this, conscripted into the army. In Belgium it was still the 19s that every person had to be 12 to 14 months in the army to fulfill their conscription. But since it's gone away, now the generations, they do not have any idea. They have never been in the military. They never got the training. They never got the realization how war really could be. And yeah, like I said before, it psychologically the psychological training of, if this was real, then this would happen, and I would be dead or wounded or this or that. Most especially young people these days, they do not have those situations. I talk to a lot of people who talk about the war in Ukraine, and their only training was Call of Duty, and I found it so. I feel sorry for them, that they think that real war is just like in the games. It's nothing like in the games. I would advise you to look up real combat footage and learn real war biographies from people who actually have been into war. War is ugly. War is devastating. War is hard. War is miserable. Everybody who likes war and think war is great, they never have been into war. Not as a civilian, and especially not as a soldier. War should be avoided. Violence should be always the last response. But that's my philosophy. Violence is your last response. But if you're going to violence, go all the way. You have to destroy the threat, incapacitate the threat, eliminate the threat. If you are being pushed to that border of peace and direct self-defense violence, because violence, conflict should only be used in self-defense. In my opinion, and if you say something else, then go fuck off. Is what I'm trying to say. Because war is hell. Sorry for that little rant on the end. So yet again, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Try to look up for other ways to strengthen yourself. This is Airsoft. This is one part of that is good way to train for preparedness. There are other ways, like take your bug out bag and do a long walk around your neighborhood to learn how to carry the bag. Try to hike to learn some sort of survival skills. Another survival simulation could be turn off the electricity and the water inside of your house for a week and see how you can survive with it. Yeah, that's also a very good training. Try to skip a few meals to learn what real hunger is, and not just I feel kind of in for some chocolate. No, I'm talking about real hunger in real physical stressful situations. I'm just rambling right now, but yet again, this is just a good way to get some life skills into your preparedness. And skills are the most important things for a prepper. It doesn't matter if you have the uniform. It doesn't matter if you have the weapons. The greatest weapon a prepper could have is knowledge and skills. So subscribe, like, and such things, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.